Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Can of Python. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about the eigenvalue and eigenvector along with the principal component analysis. How this principal component analysis will work in the machine learning project and how we can use in this one in the Jupyter notebook. So we will see in this tutorial. So let's get started guys. I will give some information about the vector transformation and determinants also. So we are using this to calculate the eigenvalue and eigenvector so that to give the information about this one it is necessary. So let's go ahead. So first is scalar vector. Okay, scalar vectors means, let's say we have one vector, that is original vector, and we are multiplying that vector to the other any value, let's say scalar value, so that vector will behave as a scalar vector. Okay, now this vector rotation, we have one vector and we have this other vector like this one, so this we can see this is a vector rotation. Now vector rotation and scale, see we have two vectors same as this one. Okay, and we have multiplied that vector to the same to the scalar value. Okay, that's mean we are multiplying the original vector to that vector so that we are getting the longer length, you can say that is a scalar vector. Okay, so that rotation as well as scale we have did here. Now what is determinant? Determinant nothing but is this any scalar value. Okay, we have learned this in the 10th, 11th and 12th. So guys, hope this you can remember how to use the how to calculate this determinant. Okay, so I will just give the information. When this determinant is nothing but the area that it will capture by the two vectors. Okay, so you can say that when zero determinant will get, in that case your this area area is not there, means the both vectors are along the same line, that's why we are not getting any area over here, that's why the determinant is 0. Now positive determinant, that means we are getting some area and we can say this is a scaled area, so that's why we are getting the positive determinant. Okay, negative determinant means we are getting the scaled value with the flip. You can see here before it was like this, now it is like this, so we are getting scaled as well as flipped, so that's why it's a negative determinant. Okay, this is a small information that I have given to you. Now moving further, we can see here that is eigenvalue and eigenvector. Let's say we have this data set, this same data set we have used in the last tutorial, but the features we have extended now till 100. Okay, we see in the last tutorial we have taken only 2 features. Okay, now we have the 100 features. Let's say if you have any data set and in that data set you have the 1000 features or 100 features, so in that data set if you go through that 100 features, so in that case your this may be chance to overfit your data. Okay, so in that case your prediction maybe go wrong. So for that, to resolve that problem, we have one that is dimensionality reduction. So what dimensionality reduction tells us that if you have the 100 features, from that 100 features we are taking some means few features only. Let's say we are taking only 2 features, so what are the features you have, that is 100, from that we are taking only 2, and that should have the significant information about your whole data set. Okay guys, please be attention because this is very important topic. Okay, whatever the features you have over here, that is original data set 100 features we have, from 100 features we are taking only 2 features, that we can call that is a dimensionality reduction. Okay, but in the new data set, that is reduction data set, we should have the significant features so that we can predict well. Okay, this data set should have the important, you can see here we should get the important and significant features so that we can do the prediction. Okay, and one more thing, that is in this data set you should not lose any information, any important information from this data set. Okay, you should not lose any information over here from this data set. Okay, so this is a dimensionality reduction, and one way to do that, that is principal component analysis. Okay, so this is our original data set, this is our new data set, we can call this data set as a principal component. Okay, what is principal component? I will explain in the next slide, guys. Hope this will make sense. We have original data set. We need to do the prediction. In that case, we can't go with these 100 features because 100 problems will come. So from that 100 features, we are taking only 2 features, means we are compressing our data set. Okay, to do that, we are using the dimensionality reduction. So for that, we are using the principal component analysis. Now moving further, guys, when you will do this one, you should not lose any single, means any important data from your old data set. Okay, now moving further, we have the principal component analysis. How this principal component analysis will work in the machine learning project, and how we can do that, we'll see in this slide now. So for that principal component analysis, we have to compute the covariance matrix. What is covariance matrix? Covariance matrix nothing but is a square matrix. Okay, it will give the correlation between the 2 features. Let's say we have 2 features. Among 100 features, we have only 2 features. We are taking only 2 features. The correlation between that 2 features will tells us this covariance matrix. Okay, covariance matrix will tells us the correlation between the features. You can see here, PCA helps us to check the correlation and dependency among the features in dataset. It will represent the correlation between the different variable in dataset. Variable means nothing but the your features. Okay, now see, moving further, if you have 5 features, okay, see, we have 2 features over here. Now you can see here we have 2 features, that is feature 1 and feature 2. So how many features you have? You see, you have, let's say you have 2 features, so your matrix will be 2 by 2. If you have 5 features, so the matrix will be 5 5 5. So that's why I have already told that covariance matrix is a square matrix, right? Now moving further, I will give one example that covariance matrix, how this will work. See, the correlation, I will explain what is the correlation between and how this will work. See, we have this covariance matrix because we have only 2 features, A and B, so that's why our matrix is 2 by 2, right? Now covariance matrix of A comma A, what it will tells us, it will represent the variable A, it will represent the variable A with respect to variable A. Guys, don't confuse, I am saying here variable, that is features. Okay guys, covariance of A comma A will represent the features of A with respect to features of A, right? Here covariance of A comma A represent the features of A with respect to features of B. Okay, this is the correlation between this AA, AB, BA, BB. Okay, and this covariance of A comma A and covariance of B comma A are committed. That's why they both are same. See, I have taken one example, means I have calculated this output from the Jupyter notebook. You can see over here, that is I have calculated, that is covariance matrix, that is np dot covariance. Okay, and x dot transpose, I did transpose over here. So okay, so I will explain this in the practical session why we did this. Now you first will focus on the output. You can see here, that is covariance of B comma A, covariance of A comma B, both are same. You can see here 1 comma 0.0037476, 1.0.0037476, both are committed. That's why we are getting the same output. Okay guys, hope this will make sense. Now one more example, sorry, this is not example, this is a proportionality relationship between the A and B. So let's say we have the value A equals to -2, means we have negative value. If you have negative value of A, that means the B is inversely proportional to A. Okay, if the value of A is positive, let's say 3, then B is directly proportional to A. Okay, this is the proportionality between the A and B vector, features. Okay, hope this will make sense. What is covariance matrix and how this need to calculate, and from this covariance matrix you need to calculate the eigenvalue and eigenvector. That's why we need this over here. Okay, and this is very important to know what is the relation, that is correlation between the two features. Okay, so moving further to the next slide, that is calculate eigenvalue and eigenvector. Guys, we have already looked this 11th and 12th, that how to calculate the eigenvalue and eigenvector in the mathematical way. Okay, now here in the Python, we can see over here that is eigenvalue and eigenvector computed from covariance matrix. We need to calculate this matrix from this covariance matrix. Once you are true with this one, once you have calculated this A matrix, that is covariance matrix, you can go for the eigenvalue and eigenvector. You can see on the right side. Okay, we'll go here. Now we need eigenvalue and eigenvector to determine principal component of your dataset. See, we need eigenvalue and eigenvector to determine principal component of your dataset. First, we have calculated that is covariance matrix. Then we have calculated the eigenvalue and eigenvector. Then from that eigenvector, we are calculating that is PC1 and PC2. I will explain in a minute, guys. This one. Now, what is this principal component? Okay, I have already told here in the first slide that once you will compress this data in the let's say 1 or 2 features, that data set, that values, we can say that is a principal component. Okay, what a principal component tells us? Principal components are new set of features that are obtained from initial of features. You can see here this was the original data set, but we have compressed that one so that we can say this is a principal component and with the new features. Okay, now the newly obtained features are highly significant and independent of each other. Okay, you can see here these two, this one and this one, means this one and this one. This is a principal component 1 and this is a principal component 2. We are talking about this one only, that newly obtained features, these two and these two newly obtained features are highly significant and independent of each other. Okay, now principal component compress and get most of the useful information that is actually scattered among all the different variables. I will explain this third point in a minute. First of all, we'll go here. See, first of all, you need to calculate that is covariance matrix. Once you are through with this one, you can calculate that you can use that covariance matrix to calculate eigenvalue and eigenvector. You can see here I have calculated the eigenvalue and eigenvector. In this, what is principal component? This 2 value is principal component of A and this 2 value is the principal component of 2. Why we did this principal component 1 and principal component 2? See guys, well see, in PC1, let's say we have the 100 features, right? We'll go first slide. Let's say we have 100 features. In principal component 1, let's say we are taking maximum information from your data set. See, we have 100 features, but from that 100 features we are taking only 2, right? So for that, if you are taking the 2 features only, in that case, in the principal component 1 you are taking maximum information, right? In the principal component 2 you are taking the remaining maximum information from your data set. Right guys, we have principal component 3 as well, 4 as well, but we are not taking that one because we are getting the maximum data from principal component 1 and principal component 2. Okay, so we are not taking that principal component 3 and principal component 4 as well. Okay guys, hope this will make sense. We are getting maximum information here and we are getting the remaining maximum information in this PC2. Okay, moving further, I will explain this third point, that is principal component compress and get most of useful information that is actually scattered among all the different variables. You can see in this slide, in the PCA, see we have the scattered data points over this XY plane. Okay, now what in these features, what we are doing, that we are passing one vector, okay, that is principal component. You can see here this is the eigenvector we have calculated and we are calling that principal component 1, which is principal component 2. So that's why we are passing the vector. Okay, we are fit this vector in such a way that maximum information or maximum data points from your data set that will capture this vector, that is principal component. Hope this will make sense guys. we are capturing maximum information with this vector. Okay, so see, we have and one more thing in this, maximum this sorry, larger the spread, more the data we have captured. Okay guys, larger the spread, more the data we have captured. Okay, and one more thing in this, if your data point, like see, we have one data point here, here, and we are passing this from here, so we'll not get the correct that is prediction in that case. So if your data set, maybe you can say in a linear form as well. Okay, so from this see, this PCA tells us, or it will take care, it will just fit the vector along among all the points, that such a way that it will covered, or it will capture all the data points from your data set. Okay, this is the work of PCA. Okay, so hope this will make sense guys, how to use the PCA in how to calculate the eigenvalue and eigenvector, how why we need the PCA. Okay, and what is the purpose of eigenvalue and eigenvector. Okay, so if you have any query in this, please comment me in the comment box so that I can resolve it, because this is very important topic. So please like and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Thank you guys. In the next tutorial, we are taking in the practical session of this eigenvalue and eigenvector, how we can calculate in the Jupyter notebook. Thank you.